viewers, welcome and welcome back to the Blue Butterfly Tarot. Today we are looking into what would they say to you if they could, and I've got two piles for you. This is pile number one, this is pile number two. Pile number one is Tarot of the Mystical Moments, and pile number two is the Prisma Visions Tarot. Take your time, see which pile or piles you feel intuitively called to. I do want to say this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest. If one pile's messages don't resonate, then choose the other. If both piles' messages don't resonate, then it just means that maybe there aren't any messages for you in this video today, but I do hope that at least one of the piles' messages do resonate. Please be careful of scammers. I would never reach out to you asking you to follow or subscribe or book a private reading, so just please be a little bit careful about that. My private readings are open right now. You can check the details in the description box below. There is not going to be an extended for this reading, so I am going to give you a few seconds now to see which pile or piles you feel intuitively called to, and then I shall begin. Hi pile one, for those of you who chose Tarot of the Mystical Moments, this is going to be your reading, alright? Before we get into the reading, let's just take some time to realign our energy, so close your eyes. Think of your person, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Alrighty, pile one. What would your person say to you if they could? What would your person say to you if they could? I don't know why I felt like knocking again. I don't know if I did it or not, but I felt like I had to do it. Okay. What would they say to you if they could? Right. The World. We have the Seven of Pentacles, Two of Cups, Three of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, Nine of Cups, Two of Pentacles. Okay. I also have your Oracle cards. We have 1313 Transformation. Major life changes are leading to growth. I think that's the World card also coming through. The other side, oof, both of you are taking steps into the next stage of this connection. Sanctuary. Okay. Alrighty. I'm not getting no contact energy. I feel like both of you are in contact. I think that there might be a little bit of looking forward at this point in time. Both of you kind of starting to think about what to do next in this connection, or where are we heading? How are we going to get there? What are the goals that both of us have to have together for our future? Certain aspects of our lives, maybe they have to be moved around in order for us to come together. So how are we going to do this? It's more practical. It's more earthy thought processes about how to move this connection forward. For those of you who, it doesn't resonate in a romantic sense, maybe this is platonic or familial, maybe one or both of you are moving away, you're getting a new job, you're entering a new phase in your life, and maybe both of you are thinking about how it could affect the connection. Like, for example, if you're physically moving away, then how would, both of you have your weekly or monthly conversations? How are both of you going to keep in touch? Where are you both going to connect? Maybe there might, or if you want to maybe plan for a vacation in the future, how are both of you going to meet? So there are these little practical matters that seem to be dealt with at this point in time, and your person has been thinking a lot about it. I don't know if they've told you the extent to which they are a bit worried about what this change is going to do for the two of you. So for some of you, the physical aspect of taking the next step might change both of your lives. They're excited, yes. They know that this is, all going to be great and it's going to be amazing and this is absolutely what they want. But at the same time, there is that fear, right? Change does bring about fear, even if you are excited about it. So there are a bit of nerves, but don't take it to be that your person is not hoping for the best. No, they are. Right? It's just that they're a little bit worried, I guess I would say, just a little bit nervous about what this next stage could mean for the two of you. How is this connection going to play out? So I think that your person in front of you keeps their cool. They don't really show you too much of their emotions. Maybe they're worried that they will worry you if you know that they are worried about you in this connection. They might be trying to protect you, or I think that maybe they just don't feel confident enough to share what they're thinking. But overall, I think that your person's really, really hopeful that both of you will be able to make it to the next phase without any bumps, without any hiccups is what I am seeing. I feel like your person wants there to be a smooth transition. But with the Two of Pentacles over here, I think that I feel that's a little bit more of a caution to both of you, that any change, even if it is for the better, even if it is for the positive, it will come with stumbles, all right? To say that we do not want any stumbles or we don't want any hiccups, I feel like that might be resisting any possible bumps or hiccups that was necessary in order for both of you to align or come into a new routine perhaps, or even maybe figure out other aspects of your life in order to come on the same page with each other. I think sometimes those bumps are necessary and are intended to help both of you get on the same page. So I would say don't, and I think that this is something that your person, I think that they're learning at this point in time. I don't think that anyone's telling them, but I think that as both of you enter the next phase of your connection, I think that both of you will learn that, yeah, we cannot say, oh, this is not going to happen, or we're not going to struggle, or we are not going to have any problems. No, you never know what can happen. But to be on, like, we are in this together, to be in that mindset, like whatever it is, we will figure it out together. That I feel is a better way to lean into the next phase that both of you are stepping into. So you're being practical, you're being open-minded, and you're not, fully, like you're being cautiously optimistic. And there's nothing wrong with being optimistic, but I feel like beyond a certain threshold, to not want any negative things to happen or to not want any bumps, yeah, that might be difficult. Because with the balancing act over here, I feel like any change, there will be this learning curve, right? There is going to be that balancing act that both of you will need to take some time to adjust. Maybe for some of you, I am seeing time zones, like adjusting to time zones or figuring out a routine that works for each other. For others of you, maybe you have to change other aspects of your life in order for both of you to continue on this path. So whatever that could mean for the two of you, first off, your person's really, really excited. All right, they're very, very happy about it. And I think that they are very hopeful that both of you will be able to, I guess, be together. That's one hope, one big, big hope. And more importantly, work with each other, even if, I guess, work with each other to create something on the other side. So in the next phase, it's also about creating something together, whether that is maybe building a life together, maybe buying a home together, or planning for a family, or for others of you, if it's platonic or familial, creating a routine where both of you can still connect and you're not missing each other, and as in physically missing calls, and obviously you will miss each other, but for others of you, maybe one or both of you, you're shifting different aspects of your life. So how that's going to influence the other person, how both of you can accommodate each other's needs and wants at this particular time, yeah, that it's creating something. At the end of the day, it's creating something new, a new dynamic between the two of you in this connection. And overall, I think that your person's really happy that both of you are stepping into this phase of your connection. I think for a while they might have been a bit scared. I think that there was a bit of hesitation on their end to be positive, but it's kind of like they are trying to let themselves know that whatever it is, both of us will work this through. So I think that's also maybe the transition for some of you as well. But overall, I do see that both of you will be able to balance things out. Yes, I mean, a natural learning curve, absolutely, but I think that both of you will figure it out, pal one. I do see a lot of, like, even the energy feels very uplifting to me. So it does look like both of you will be entering the next phase of your connection, whatever that could mean for individual of you, I feel like you know exactly what I mean, and you already know. I think that this has already been discussed. Given the energy coming through so clear, I feel like you already know what I'm talking about. All right, let's get one message and then we'll get timing cards. All right, with timing cards, please let me know. I mean, every time I stop doing it, and then again, my intuition keeps pulling me towards it, but then I'm not sure if all of you are on board or not. So just let me know about the timing cards, and yeah, that's something that I wanted to say. Alrighty, Queen of Wands. All right, this is going to be a very, very exciting phase for the two of you. All right, yes, it is going to be slightly challenging because you are navigating through new waters. This is something that both of you have not done before. So yes, and plus we also have to kind of deal with earthy matters, right? So that can kind of be a little bit of a hindrance from time to time, and that's also something that you have to learn. Just trust that whatever maybe hiccups or bumps that are coming up, and they will, all right? Not too major, nothing too big, don't get scared, but the message, actually the message, the advice coming through for you, Pal 1, is that whatever bumps, whatever frustrations that you may feel in this next phase, the beginning stages of it, it is actually intended for both of your growth together, so that both of you can grow together, can evolve together, can handle this connection, like up level this connection in the way that both of you are showing up, in the way that both of you can adjust to the new dynamic. All right, so take it in your stride. There will be tiny frustrations here and there. There will be these little things that maybe annoy you a little bit, maybe bumps that you have to work through. I'm also like kind of seeing maybe you write something and scratch, so maybe you might try doing something and then it doesn't work. So there might be a little bit of a trial and error period when both of you are trying to figure things out in this new dynamic. Take it into stride. I know it might be a little bit frustrating, but try to focus on what's going right and take what might not be going right as, okay, there's something we have to learn over here. Let's figure it out. Let's work together and see what is the transformation that's meant to happen within both of us in order to make past this bump, because that's the only purpose to that, is what is coming through. All right, let's get timing cards. So with timing cards, I do want to say, please be a little bit careful. They're always based on current energy. All right, I'm going to pull out 3. Whichever one jumps out at you, that's the intuitive hit, all right? And most likely that is for you. Maybe sometimes you will come back to this reading a little later and another card jumps out. That should be able to tell you whether you are in alignment or you are in misalignment. If it delays, then most likely there's something that you're doing that's misalignment. If it kind of pushes back, like pushes up, the timeline, then it means that something that you're doing is working and is in alignment, so continue on that path. All right, so that's why I feel like pulling out 3. Right, so we'll see. We have 6 months, whatever your question is, 14 days. You can also ask 3 questions, and on a significant date. All right, so for some of you it could be, maybe I'm hearing birthday, I'm also hearing anniversary, and I'm also hearing Christmas. I don't know why, but because the reason why I say I don't know why is because I think first is Thanksgiving, right? I mean, I'm around the time that I'm posting this, but I feel like saying Christmas. All right, so Christmas could be significant. All right, that's also one more message that's coming through. So then, now if the card comes out, all right, now I was kind of asking my spirit guides yesterday. I was kind of sitting down with them and kind of asking, okay, well, I feel called to separate this, like, because they're actually part of the same deck, all right? If you see the cover photo, the way that I designed this, they're actually part of the same deck. And then I was like, but why did you tell me to separate them? You know, I was kind of like asking my spirit guides, and you know, we kind of have this relationship where I'm quite free and open with them, and you know, I complain, I would do my shenanigans, I'm quite free with them. So I was like, why did you tell me to separate them? I'm not understanding the purpose of it. And so that's when the message came through that if you are not happy with this timeline, all right, these 3 cards that came out just now, if you're not happy with the message, like for example, this says 6 months, all right, and you're not happy with it, you want maybe a timeline of 10 days, all right, nothing is set in stone. That is the purpose of divine timing, right? It's all about alignment. So the second deck, even though it's the same, but it's separated out only to tell you when to align or what could be misaligned on your end. Yeah, that is if this comes out and you're not feeling called to it, then this deck will help you align. And for those of you where these cards do align, you know, you feel like, yes, sounds about right. All right, what could be misaligned at this point in time for you, just maybe to course correct a little bit, just to be a little bit more conscious so that you can continue being on that path rather than continuing to go on the misaligned path. All right, so that was what my spirit guides told me. That is what I am telling you. All right, so if you have any problem, you take it up with them. Okay, but yeah, let me know if you do enjoy the timing cards, because my intuition keeps pulling me to this. You have no idea, Pawan. My intuition keeps pulling me to the timing cards. I feel like you have been seeing me like on and off with the timing, but every time I feel like, no, maybe it's not working, or maybe it doesn't resonate, there's so many of you, then again, I'm being pulled back to it. So help me out over here, Pawan. Let me know your thoughts on the timing cards, all right? Okay, so we have protected. Yes, beautiful. And then we have within a few weeks. This is interesting. This was not supposed to be in this deck. So it looks like I've not done a good job in separating it out. Okay, but within a few weeks, I think that this is confirmation, all right? I think that this is like triple confirmation for someone out there. Protected. Now, for some of you, maybe you might be trying to understand what could be happening on the other side, all right? And maybe you're not getting information. Maybe you are feeling a little bit stuck. You want to mentally, emotionally prep yourself, but one message is that you cannot. There will be some things that will take you by surprise, and that's part of the plan. Right? So you are being protected. Not everything will come through in your intuition. You might be trying really, really hard. I am actually seeing someone, you know, tapping into their intuition very, very deeply, trying to see, you know, all possible blocks in the future, but not, you know, even if, you know, you have a very, very strong intuition, sometimes you are protected from knowing what comes up, because I guess the shock or the surprise element is necessary and is part of your growth. Or if you knew what was coming, you'll change something in what you're doing, and then you'll avoid that, and that will lead to misalignment, or it will lead to a bigger mess up, because you have to learn that lesson at that point in time. So that's the reason why there's nothing wrong with your intuition. For some of you, I feel like maybe you might be wondering, okay, well, why didn't my intuition tell me about this? Or why am I not getting any messages about what could go wrong? Yeah, sometimes you are just protected, all right? So, Palwan, this is where I will leave you for today. I really hope that this reading brought you the comfort, clarity, and confirmation you're looking for. Overall, very uplifting. Even I feel like you can see, like you can feel it in my energy as well. It feels like, you know, both of you are on the threshold of something really new and exciting for the two of you. And I wish both of you all the very best. And I also want to say I wish both of you the most peaceful path to both of your highest good in this next phase, all right? So my private readings are open right now. You can check those in the details below. But Palwan, take care, trust your intuition. You always have free will. Catch you in my next one. Bye-bye. Hi, Pal 2. For those of you who chose the Prisma Visions Tarot, this is going to be your reading, all right? Before we get into the reading, let's just take some time to realign our energy. So close your eyes. Think of your person. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. I just heard someone's not listening to someone. What would they say to you if they could? Do you know how I heard that? I said breathe in, right? And then I didn't breathe in. And I was like, and then, you know, something just immediately came to me, like, you're not listening. You're not listening to yourself. So either someone's not listening to someone, or someone's not listening to themselves. I really feel that was for you. But it was really funny. It's like, you're not listening to yourself. Like, oops, yeah. Okay, I gotta take a breath now. Alrighty. Pal 2, let's see. What would your person say to you if they could? 3 of Chalices, 10 of Chalices, Ace of Wands, 3 of Swords. What is going on? The High Priestess, the Magician, 5 of Swords. Okay. Your person's not listening to their higher self. That makes sense. construct. A lot of fighting, by the way. Adventure and nurturing. Okay. Your person is not listening to their higher self, all right? Because if they were, I think that there's so much that your person will be able to align and manifest in their life. It looks like this is actually a very, very powerful time. There's something about maybe, I don't know, there's something about the time, like specifically I'm seeing planets, maybe a particular planet might be working in favor of your person right now. I don't know. That message is not coming through, but there's something to do with this phase of your person, like specifically for your person, this period, whenever you're watching this, it's actually a very, very powerful time for them. Anything that they think of and they align with, they will be able to manifest it with more ease than any other phase or any other time in their life. But your person is not listening. They are refusing to listen at this point in time. There's such a clash between their ego and their higher self at this point in time. And that by itself is leading to so much of heartbreak. Even if your person doesn't realize that they are in pain, this person could be lashing out at everyone, just being very dissatisfied, constantly being very critical of everyone, being very negative around other people, just constantly looking at the lack of things rather than what they already do have. It probably is very uncomfortable to be around this person, just the energy that's coming through as well, because the more they are misaligned from their higher self, Paltu, the more they feel that internal pain, and that pain comes out this way. Just because you understand why someone is acting the way that they are, and just because you know that they are in pain, does not mean you have to tolerate anything less than what you deserve. Always say this. I will continue saying this, because it's important for me also to say it time and again. Not only is it a reminder for you, it is also a reminder for me. All right. But yeah, you could be in no contact with this person, or even if you are in contact, I would say this is a very volatile situation with your person. Like any small thing triggers them, any small thing that someone else does, they end up venting on you. And that there's just this constant negativity that you will probably sense. Just even their energy is very, very off. Yeah, the reason for that is they're not listening to their higher self. And if you have to protect yourself at this point in time, I would say always, always, always choose yourself, Paltu. All right? Just that your person is in very, very unhealthy energy at this point in time. Neither are they going to be helpful to you. They're not helping themselves as well. And I feel like this is what their higher self would say to you at this point in time. Right now, there's so much of clashing between the ego and their higher self that no matter what you say to them, no matter what you do, they will not be able to understand. They will not be able to comprehend what you are saying. And frankly, it will lead to more resistance to whatever it is that you're saying. So if you tell this person, for example, right, maybe you should keep a clean room so that, the aura is healthy and, you can invite more wealth. For example, let's say this probably not true, I don't know, but this is what you want to say. Just because there's so much of internal conflict going on within them, they will purposely not do it just to prove you wrong or just out of spite. That's the energy that's coming through. It's the taste. I don't often get taste, but sometimes I do, especially when it is bitter and it's coming through for me at this point in time. It's bitter. The energy that your person is in right now, it's quite bitter. So would not, as much as possible, please protect yourself from this person. It's not, like, as much as we love someone, Paltu, we cannot help them overcome their shadows. And even more so when they don't want to do it. It's they have to tackle their shadows, and we're there for support. We're there around them. We cannot do their work for them, no matter how much we tell them, or if we take on that load on ourselves. Oh my gosh, that becomes misalignment as well. Becomes misalignment on our end, and we start attracting things in other areas of our lives that align with that misalignment of taking someone else's burden, and that becomes very, very painful. It becomes more mess on your end, which is absolutely unnecessary because it was never your burden to take on in the first place, right? This person could be engaging in like third-party situations, distracting themselves, not wanting to spend time with themselves. I feel I don't necessarily like to say this, but I am getting it very, very, very strongly in your reading, so I will say it. Possibly addiction tendencies, not necessarily, the usual, but it could also be, I'm hearing food, I'm hearing eating their feelings, or even just, numbing themselves with social media. That could also be it as well. I am getting it very, very strongly in your reading today, and I generally don't like saying it out, just that, those are very, very heavy things for me in my perspective. But it's coming so strongly, so I have to say it. But like I said, it's not necessarily the usual ones that people talk about. It could be even, just numbing themselves on social media, being around people who don't align with them, but who make them forget what's happening around them for a while. Or like the thing that I'm hearing is your person cannot sit with themselves. They're avoiding that so much that they're doing whatever it takes to run away from sitting in silence. That's one thing that your person is not able to do at this point in time. So I would say that this message is actually from their higher self to you. Please take time to nurture yourself. It is difficult sometimes when someone we love is struggling, and there's nothing that we can do except to let them know that we are around if and when they wish for us to support them. But sometimes they don't want that as well, and it can be painful because we love them, because we care so much about them. It can be very, very painful on us. So during that phase, it's very important to take care of ourselves. That is our responsibility. All right. So no matter what you say to your person at this point in time, Paltu, like, it is not going to change anything unless your person starts first sitting with themselves. Just that's pretty much the starting point, which they are resisting. And the thing is, because your person is in such a powerful time of their life, they're in very, very powerful manifesting energy. But that is also scary because manifesting is a general concept. It's not manifesting good or bad, nothing. It is just attracting what you are. And if you are that misaligned, then what are you calling in? And it's scary. It's definitely scary. So the helplessness you feel at this point in time, it is very understandable, Paltu. But please take time to care for yourself, to fill your own cup first. All right, that is important. Cannot fill someone else's cup if you haven't filled yours. Right? And it is difficult. Yes, I completely understand, like, the helplessness that you feel. You want to help them. You want to, if it were possible, because you love them, you would actually want to take away their pain and their burden. But that is theirs to carry. That is theirs to work through. That is what their soul determined to take on for this lifetime. That is part of their soul's journey. They have to go through it. As difficult it has been, like, I'll say from experience, Paltu, it was excruciatingly painful for me to understand this lesson. But we have to allow people, or our loved ones, I guess, we have to allow them to go through what their soul decided they would go through in this lifetime. We cannot stop that. If we interfere, it becomes misalignment on our end, and then they don't go through the lesson that they were meant to. That leads to stunted growth. That leads to even more pain on their end than if they were to go through the original pain they had intended for themselves in this lifetime. And it becomes like a big crash at some point. So that's something that I've learned the hard way, very, very difficult way, that you cannot take on someone's lesson for them. You cannot, it is not your responsibility. And and this is the biggest lesson that I've learned in my life, like the biggest lesson is, the best thing that you can do for yourself is understand and know, recognize, acknowledge what is your responsibility, and the most important of all, what is not your responsibility. All right. That lesson has come through the very, very difficult and, like I said, excruciating pain on my end, learning that lesson. But yeah. So take care of yourself, pal two, all right? That's very, very important, especially, it might be difficult for a person, but yes, it's difficult for you too. No, I think that's also something that we don't really see, or we don't really recognize that, it's not just the person who's going through it, it's also their loved ones are in some pain. Might not be to the extent that they are actually going through, but you cannot also pass away your pain or say, oh no, that's fine, they're in much more pain. No, your pain is valid as well, all right? So it's very, very important. So don't minimize the depth of your pain. How to? But you have to let them go on their path. There's no other option at this point. Okay. Yeah, they are holding themselves back at this point. They're holding themselves back, so they've got to figure that there's actually a way out, that they're the ones holding themselves back. So let me see if they will. I mean, usually it's part of the soul's journey to learn, but given the amount of resistance and their higher self is really nudging them. I'm seeing such a big, I don't know if, hold on, let me show it to you. Such a big feet, and like it's like a giant compared to all the other, like, can you see this feet? Such a big higher self coming through. Like they're trying to kind of let your person know, even with the magician coming through as well. And compared to the other small people, yeah, but your person has to listen. I think over time, this will take long. Pal two, for your person to learn the lesson that they're meant to at this point in time. Whatever they're resisting, it will unfold over a very, very long period of time. I would not be surprised if it spans years. That's the very, very slow energy coming through. All right, now let's get timing cards. Now, a few things that I want to talk to you about. How to timing cards. So every time I pull timing cards for readings, then I don't know, I do it a few times and then I stop and then I'm like, does it really help? Is it working for them? I don't know. Is it aligning with them? I don't know. So I stop, and then my intuition like literally pulls me back, like, please put it back, please put it back. And then I was called to separate out the decks. All right, this is actually one deck. I actually designed it to be one deck, but for your like recent readings, I've been called to separate them into two different decks, and I'll explain why in just a little bit. But first, we'll get into an exact timeline of when things could happen. Whatever your question or questions are, keep them in your mind right now. Now, if a card jumps out at you that's probably most aligned to you at this point in time, maybe you come back to this reading a little bit later and another card jumps out at you. I would say if the timeline has delayed, that means there's something that's misaligned on your end, so you can course correct. If the timeline kind of is, I guess, like it kind of becomes closer to you, it means there's something aligned that you're doing. Continue on that path, all right? Okay, let's see. We have Tuesday, we have April, we have 11 days, all right? Very straightforward. Beautiful colors. I mean, I designed it, I know, but I really like the colors, like the way it came out. Okay. All right. So then, okay. So funny story is, like I was getting the push from my spirit guides, like, please use the timing deck, please. I resisted it for quite a bit. Okay. Then finally I said, okay, you know what? You're saying it so much, I will give in. I will use it. All right, so definitely let me know how to, like, let me know if the timing cards are working for you, they're aligning with you, they're not aligning. Let me know your thoughts, please. I'm absolutely open to hearing it. All right, anyway, I was talking to my spirit guides and I was like, okay, well, why are you asking me to separate out the two decks? I'm not like completely understanding it. So that's when like my spirit guides came through and they're like, okay, you know what, for example, this is a more specific timeline, whereas this is more about alignment, right? Like what you need to do on your end that could be misaligned, or which part of alignment happens, things will shift for you, all right? So the reason why is, for example, you get a card out, right, in the first part. And maybe it came April, right? And you're not happy with April. You're like, no, it feels intuitively right to me, but I don't like April as the answer, all right? And that does happen, doesn't it? Right? It's like, no, it's too far, or no, it's too long for me to wait. So now the thing about divine timing is it's very, very subjective, right? It is dependent, heavily dependent on your alignment. So if you're not happy with the outcome, you can change it. That's the best part. So how do you change it? With the second part of the deck, because it's the same deck, but the second cards will tell you, okay, well, how do you align, or what needs to shift on your end in order to align with maybe a more favorable timeline, or a timeline that aligns with you. Okay, so that was the answer that came through. If you have any problems with that, please take it out with my spirit guides, not with me. All right. But yeah, no, my spirit guides and I, we have this kind of riff-raff kind of relationship, and it's fun, and also sometimes they are very strict with me, but yeah, most of the times, yeah, not without healing, okay, when you are intentional. All right. Okay. So, Pal 2. There definitely have been wounds caused by this connection, right? All said and done, when someone is in pain, it's quite but natural that they inflict pain onto other people. And just because you understand that doesn't mean you have to accept it, but there has been substantial pain on your end. I think you tolerate it as much as you could, or as much as anyone could, especially because you loved this person. So there is healing that needs to happen on your end. If you're feeling like things are misaligned, or something's not sitting right with you, maybe in other aspects of your life as well. Maybe this wound is playing out in other aspects of your life. I would not be surprised. Everything is interconnected. Energy is energy at the end of the day, and everything, it flows through everything. All right, so if there's something misaligned in other aspects of your life, or even with respect to this connection, not without healing, it is very, very important. You have to fill your cup first, all right? And, just because you see someone you love in pain, that does not take away the pain that you are going through because you're seeing them in pain. So that also requires healing as well. Or at least it requires taking care of yourself and acknowledging that pain and working through that pain as well. And when you're intentional, okay, maybe you're not intentional about taking care of yourself, nurturing yourself. Maybe you're not intentional, or you're not really taking yourself into account in this dynamic. You're so focused on your person that you're not seeing yourself as an equation to the dynamic, to what is going on between the two of you as well. So take some time. This could be, maybe there's something, I think that you would be able to decipher this message a little bit more clear for yourself, Pal 2, but maybe there is something that you've overlooked in this situation, or some other aspect of your life that somehow relates to this connection. So maybe you have to be intentional. It could be intentional about showing up, intentional about setting your desires and needs, setting your boundaries, intentional about having clarity about what behaviors you will tolerate and what behaviors you will not tolerate. There's something about being intentional that is coming up to the surface for you. So it looks like there is a little bit of misalignment, or you can align to, I guess, a more favorable timeline. If these are taken care of, take that as it resonates, whichever you feel called to. But if I did talk about alignment and you realized, oh wait, I'm not aligning to that, then yes, that was definitely for you, right? Okay, Pal 2. This is where I will leave you for today. I really hope that this reading brought you the comfort, clarity, and confirmation you're looking for. It was a bit of an emotional one, wasn't it, Pal 2? I really hope you are taking care of yourself, or you start taking care of yourself. It's very, very important, all right, Pal 2? Okay, my private readings are open right now. I can check the details in the description box below. Pal 2, take care, trust your intuition. You always have free will. Catch you in my next one. Bye-bye.